All right, let's just jump right in. Go ahead and picture your dining table. I'm willing to bet you've got a salt shaker, and right next to it, it's little buddy, the pepper shaker. It's just there. It's so common, so totally ordinary. But the story behind that humble spice, well, it just happens to be one of the most incredible, world-changing sagas in all of human history.
Seriously, what if I told you that for hundreds and hundreds of years, entire kingdoms went to war just to control the trade of this tiny black peppercorn?
And what if those wars, and the absolutely staggering wealth that came from this spice, were enough to literally build empires from the ground up?
And get this, what if its value was so insane that it wasn't just like gold, it was often traded grain for grain, and in some cases, it was actually worth even more?
Yeah, it sounds completely unbelievable, I know. But for most of our history, pepper was the ultimate luxury. It was a flashing neon sign of immense wealth and power.
And I'm not speaking metaphorically here. Back in the Roman Empire, pepper was a form of currency. You could get part of your salary as a soldier in peppercorns. You could walk into a government office and literally pay your taxes with bags of the stuff. Why? Because it was stable, it was valuable, and everybody wanted it.
If you want to get a sense of just how valuable, check this out. When the Visigoths laid siege to Rome back in 410 AD, they demanded a massive ransom to leave the city alone. And along with gold and silver, they demanded 3,000 kilograms of black pepper. Just think about that for a second. An invading army saw a spice as being on the exact same level as precious metals.
This obsession just rolled right on into the Middle Ages. The phrase, "he is worth his weight in pepper," actually became a common saying. It meant somebody was fabulously, unbelievably wealthy. You know, having a pepper shaker on your table back then was basically the equivalent of parking a Ferrari in your driveway today. It was the ultimate status symbol.
So this immense demand, it didn't just create wealth. No, it sparked a global obsession that would fundamentally, and I mean fundamentally, redraw the map of the world.
You see, for centuries, nobody in Europe knew where pepper came from. It was this huge secret. It grew on the Malabar coast in Kerala, India, and Arab traders had the entire supply chain locked down, a total monopoly. And to protect it, they made up these wild stories about giant mythical birds guarding the pepper fields just to scare everyone off. Well, the European kingdoms got tired of paying these insane prices. They decided they were going to find their own way there. And that one goal, the hunt for pepper, is what funded the voyages that kicked off the age of exploration. Christopher Columbus, he was looking for a new route to the spices. Vasco da Gama's legendary trip to India, that was all about getting a direct line to the pepper.
And that's not an exaggeration at all. This burning desire to break a monopoly on a simple spice is what led to new sea routes, the discovery of new continents, and the creation of the very first global trade networks. You could say pepper basically put the global in globalization. But pepper's power isn't just stuck in the history books. Oh no. It has a hidden chemical superpower that scientists are still unpacking to this day.
I want you to meet piperine. This is the magic ingredient, the star of the show. It's the active compound that gives pepper that signature sharp kick we all know, but what it does goes so much further than just taste.
So a lot of people think pepper is hot in the same way a chili pepper is hot, but it's a completely different thing. Chili heat comes from capsaicin, which causes genuine irritation to your tissues. But pepper's kick, from piperine, is much, much cleverer. It actually just tricks your pain receptors into thinking there's heat, creating that warm burn sensation without causing any real damage. That's why it feels sharp and pleasant, not just painful.
But here's piperine's most incredible property. It acts as something called a bioenhancer. What that means is it can dramatically increase your body's ability to absorb nutrients from other foods by up to 2,000%. That is why you almost always see turmeric paired with black pepper in supplements. The piperine makes the good stuff in turmeric way more available for your body to actually use.
And the benefits just keep coming. Studies have shown piperine can help boost mood-regulating neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. It might even help improve memory. And way back when, its natural antifungal properties made it one of the world's first and most effective food preservatives, which probably saved countless people from food poisoning long before refrigeration was ever a thing.
Okay, so we know the history, we know the science, so let's look at the actual pepper we use today. Because, believe it or not, it's hiding one more massive secret. This one blows most people's minds. You know, green, black, white, and even those rare red peppercorns? They are not different plants. Not at all. They all come from the exact same fruit of the exact same plant, Piper nigrum. The only difference is when they're picked and how they're processed. Green is just the unripe berry. Black is that same unripe berry, but cooked and dried in the sun. White pepper comes from the fully ripe berry, but with the outer skin soaked off. And red, that's the fully ripe berry preserved. It's like 4 different spices all in one.
And hey, here's a quick pro tip for you. Because pepper is still a pretty valuable commodity, the pre-ground stuff is often cut with fillers. We're talking papaya seeds, dust, all sorts of things. So for the best flavor and all those amazing benefits, you should always buy whole peppercorns and grind them yourself.
All right, let's bring this all together. Because once you really understand the incredible journey this little spice has taken, I promise you, you will never look at it the same way again.
I mean, just look at this timeline. It's staggering. Peppercorns were found literally stuffed in the nostrils of Pharaoh Ramesses II as part of his mummification over 3,000 years ago. It was used as cash in the Roman Empire. It launched the ships that redrew the entire world map. And after all of that, it wound up right here in your kitchen.
So the next time you reach for that pepper grinder, just take a second and remember what you're holding. It is not just a seasoning. It is a tiny, black time capsule. Every single grain is a little artifact that connects you directly to ancient pharaohs, Roman soldiers, and the legendary explorers who risked everything just for a taste of it.
And that really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If a simple peppercorn can hold a story this epic, what other incredible secrets are just sitting right there in front of us, hiding in plain sight, just waiting for us to notice?